Now, this is a video I've been looking forward to. I have always loved the mind of this man. He's inspired millions of young readers and writers with his unique, quite gory and quite funny writing style. Everyone has a favourite Roald Dahl book. Mine is Matilda. I'm sure you've got one too. Actually, what about you guys?
Oh, well, my favourite is Danny the Champion of the World.
I'd go with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
A fact that you might not know, and something that to me makes him even more special, is that Roald Dahl was a hurricane pilot during the Second World War. Let's not forget that he was 6'6" tall, so this man had to squeeze into the cockpit of his aircraft. But regardless of that, he became an incredible pilot and a fighter ace. He flew with number 80 Squadron, who flew and operated in North Africa. Now, again, can you imagine all the challenges that faced Roald Dahl and his squadron during those days? The heat of the North African desert, the intensity of warfare. But what really strikes me is he would have seen everything that humanity has to offer, the good and the bad, the gruesome, the gory, but also the compassion, the love and the kindness. He went through all of these quite intense experiences that really ingrained in his mind. But what I love about Roald Dahl is he was able to repurpose and reuse that depth of emotion and that depth of experience to create something incredible. This was a man who knew his own strengths, knew what he wanted to achieve, and the results speak for themselves. Now, we can't get away from the fact that Roald Dahl was in amongst the thick of the fighting during the Second World War. Once when flying a Gloucester Gladiator, he crashed and so nearly lost his life that put him out of action for over 6 months when he had a really serious head injury. He also flew one of the greatest pilots the RAF had ever seen, Pat Pattle, and it was with Pat Pattle that he was involved with some of the most intense and nerve-wracking dogfighting. He left active service as a fighter ace and flew to America to work for the War Office. But what I absolutely adore about this man is his mind never stopped ticking. All these events, all these experiences ingrained in the mind of Roald Dahl, and he was able to do something incredibly special with it. He was able to connect to his inner child, his own imagination, and do something that would positively affect millions of young people. What I love about Roald Dahl is he was always true to himself. He was always so connected to his strengths. He was so creative, full of duty, full of purpose, and his number one strength, which he talked about a lot, was kindness. That's what he believed that people needed to show one another. He said the following words: "I think probably kindness is my number one attribute in a human being. I'll put it before any other things like courage or bravery or generosity or anything else. Kindness. That simple word. To be kind, it covers everything to my mind. If you're kind, that's it." And here at the project, we find those words so inspiring. Kindness, that one simple thing. Roald Dahl lived through a war that stole 60 million lives. He saw the good and the bad of humanity, but throughout all of that challenge and struggle, he was able to just stay true what is personal to him, that sense of kindness, that sense of doing good to others, his strengths, his unique strength, and he made a huge difference in the world because of it. We absolutely adore Roald Dahl here at the project. This is the month of strengths and focusing on strengths. We've heard some incredible stories this month, and Roald Dahl just adds to that list. What we really want you guys to do is consider your strengths. What are you good at? What makes you uniquely and especially you? And it's when we connect to those strengths that we can go on and do something huge in the world. What better way to end Strengths Month than our very own Chaz quoting the immortal words of fantastic Mr. Fox.
Wow. We can do it. You see if we can't, so can you.